Hi, my name is Lynn, and this is my first video. I'm going to show you how I colored these stamps. It's from the Ton, called Holiday Bows. Here we go. I love my Misty tool. I probably use it 90% of the time. We'll be making this blue bow, so we're going to use Simon Says Stamps High Dive and Stampin' Up! Island Indigo. I think everyone knows how to use a Misty if they have it, but anyways, I always put the stamp on the piece of paper first, just so I know that it's going to be in the right position. And then close it, it sticks. I use the lighter ink color first, which is the Simon Says High Dive. And I think the secret is, well, for me, is I double stamp the image. Plus, that's not a very good stamp. Much better. Now position it for the second stamping stage. And this is how I line it up. This part right here, I'm going to line up with this part right here. Okay, so I'm just lining up, and I'm just making sure that this stamp image is lined up with the image below. I look above it, I even look at the side, just to make sure that what I'm about to stamp doesn't go over the image that I previously stamped. Hope that makes sense. Only way to know if it lined up is to stamp it using the darker stamp ink. And I'm going to, looks like it's good, and I'm going to double stamp it again. Looks good to me. Going to use Sandy Allnuck's hex chart and find the color range that's perfect for my bow. I'm going to start with the lightest color first, BG10, and just color all the highlighted parts of the ribbon. It's just going to be a light layer at first. Then I'm going to go over it again and make parts of it a little bit darker. Just want to make a nice blend from light to dark. Next, BG32, and go over, but not all the way. I still want those highlights, but I just want a nice transition between the colors. Now I'm going to go over it again and layer it so it's darker. Okay, we'll get the next color that's just a bit darker from the last and do the same thing. Just kind of go over it, keeping the lighter colors prior. Just want a nice blend. Now this color I'm going to use is the same color as the bow. So it's actually the same color as the Simon Says stamp ink. So any splotchy colors, I'm going to fix it. It's just a nice solid color. And then again, making the highlights darker. The darker part is where the ribbon curves. That's how I'm kind of thinking how I color the bow. And now this color BG49 is the color of the darkest part of the ribbon. So if there's any splotchy areas there, I can fix that up. Now there's some parts where I went over the stamp image, but it's okay because I'm going to cut it out anyways. So I'm going to go back to the lightest color, BG10, and just smooth out those harsh lines. That's all. Looks good. Time to add shadows. Okay, so don't laugh at this part. I didn't know how to add a title, so I did a lot of still shots. And here where you want to add the shadows. So I take N7 and just basically go on the edge of the ribbon. Need a light hand for this, a very thin line. And you kind of put a shadow where the ribbon curves and overlaps the ribbon underneath. So you need a shadow right there too. Because that ribbon is above the ribbon below, needs a shadow. I think we got it. Now it's time to soften up the shadows. So take my black marker and my darkest blue. That blue is the same color as the dark highlights. Are there dark highlights? The darkest part of the ribbon. So just retouching it. Now touch the dark blue to the black just to get a nice darker color, and just soften up that N7. And I just go to every part of the ribbon where I had made a line of the N7 just to soften it up. Now this part right here is supposed to be dark, so I'm just concentrating on it more. Now working on the ribbon that overlaps a ribbon underneath, softening up those shadows. I think it looks good. Now here I add shadows to where the ribbon curves underneath itself. So I'm just making it a little bit darker. I'm doing hand gestures like you guys can see me. Doesn't make sense. Oops, kind of messed up, but I can fix that. And again, we'll be cutting this out. Okay, so I'm going to take the same dark blue, and I'm just going to clean it up a bit by just adding a thin line on the edge of the ribbon. Not where the shadow is, but on top of the ribbon at the very edge. I think that's it. Yep. Now, gonna take the BG10 and just clean up those harsh lines. Just make it a little bit more smoother. Now it's time to cut it out. And I like to cut it at the edge of the bow. You can even fix the mistakes where you colored over the line. And it's okay if some of the white shows. And with the magic of editing, I'm almost done. So I'm going to take my dark blue again and run the brush on the edge to clean it up. It's going to look so much nicer. Look, don't you agree? So I want to take the time to thank everyone here watching this all the way to the end. I just want to thank you for your support and all the likes and the loves and the wonderful comments that I received when I made the bows look so 3D. It's fun coloring. Thank you to the Ton for featuring me on their blog. So I appreciate it. This is a really cool stamp and I enjoy coloring it, and I hope I helped you guys. So thank you so much. My name is Lynn, and again, thanks for stopping by. Mwah!